All right, let's talk about a weird little problem in the training world. It seems like the better you do, the harder it gets to actually grow. I mean, you're a rock star at what you do, but all of a sudden you're just drowning in paperwork and admin. Today, we're going to dig into why that happens and look at a really smart way some companies are breaking right through that ceiling.
So let me just ask you straight up, does this slide hit a little close to home? Is your day just a frantic mess of chasing invoices, dealing with scheduling nightmares, and putting out fires, and you have absolutely zero time to think about the big picture? Yeah, that's survival mode, and trust me, it's a trap so many growing businesses fall into.
These right here, these are the usual suspects. It almost always starts with the admin stuff, right? The hours that just vanish into thin air. And because you're losing all that time, marketing becomes this thing you'll get to later. Meanwhile, your clients love you and they're asking for more, maybe e-learning or custom videos, but your team is already maxed out. And hiring, that's slow, it's expensive, it's a whole thing. You see how each one of these problems just feeds the next one?
And this is really the heart of the matter. Every single minute you spend on some small reactive task is a minute you're not spending on what really matters. It pulls you away from planning, from building those key client relationships, the stuff that actually grows the business. You're stuck reacting instead of being proactive.
So what's the way out? Well, one really powerful model is to team up with people who have already been through this exact fire. The whole idea is they've already fought these battles. They've built the systems and they can be your operational backbone because, hey, they've lived your exact same problems.
To really get why this works, you've got to look at the foundation. We're talking about more than 20 years in the game. And that's not just time on a calendar. That's 2 decades of getting the ins and outs of corporate training and figuring out what big clients actually need to win.
And that experience has to be wide, not just deep. For a partner like this to really help you, they need to have worked with clients all over the world, different cultures, different markets. This isn't just about knowing one little area. It's about knowing the universal rules of growth.
And here is the metric that tells you everything you need to know about trust, a 4.8 out of 5. I mean, come on. If you're going to hand over the keys to your back office and basically your reputation, you have to know they're going to deliver. This is the proof. It's totally non-negotiable.
Okay, so how does this actually play out day to day? People call it an invisible ops team. The goal is for it to be so seamless that it just feels like a natural part of your own company, handling all the heavy lifting so you can focus on the important stuff. This table breaks it down perfectly. On the left, you've got all the essential but super time-consuming tasks. On the right, that's the good stuff, the growth stuff. The whole game is about moving your time and your energy from that left column over to the right, to stop managing and start growing. Just imagine, tomorrow, you could suddenly offer things like high-end instructional design or video production. This is often done with a white label model. You sell it under your amazing brand, and the partner's expert team just makes it happen in the background. It's an incredible way to instantly level up what you can offer your clients.
Okay, theory is great, but what does this look like in the real world? Let's check out a quick case study to see how a real company went from total operational chaos to steady, predictable growth.
Listen to the words this client uses. Growth partner, not vendor. That's a huge difference, right? It shows it's a deep strategic thing. And the result wasn't just saving a few hours. It was real, tangible growth into 2 new markets in just 3 months. And here are the hard numbers. A 40% revenue boost? Yes, please. But look at the number that made it possible. 25 hours. 25 hours saved every single week. That reclaimed time is the fuel for growth. What would you do with an extra 25 hours a week?
Now you might be thinking, this sounds like a huge, complicated thing to set up. But for this to work, it has to be the exact opposite. The whole point is to solve complexity, not add more of it. So let's look at how simple it can be. It's usually a really simple 3-step path. It starts with just a conversation, a discovery call to figure out where the real bottlenecks are. No high-pressure sales pitch. Then, a custom plan is built that plugs right into your existing systems. And finally, you start getting time back while they handle the ops. And you see results, like in the very first week. And that brings us right back to the biggest question of all. It's always a choice between managing the business and growing the business. If you could shift all your focus from the first one to the second one, what would actually be possible? What new clients, what new markets, what incredible ideas could you finally bring to life? That's the potential you unlock when you stop running your back office and start building your future.